this time. Flawless.
Flawless, mate. Flawless.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Tonight we are covering crossover. This is my pick. We'll just go around, introduce my two amigos. We've got Triple G, who's
Hello.
Toys. How are we doing, mate? All right?
Very good, bud.
Yeah,
very good.
Brilliant. Still smashing them lives out.
Yes,
yeah,
night. about 14 a day I do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant when you sleep.
Yeah. I don't.
No. And on the bottom there, we've got way across the pond there is Efren, Pass Point Comics. How are you doing, Efren?
What is going on, Comic Book Familia? Unlike 2 weeks ago, I enjoyed this book. And I read it before, and we'll talk more about it, but I enjoyed it more the second time around. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome.
And of course, we've got in the chat is Sheriff Fuzzy Dunlop. Saying started off well, this lost its way about after a bit though, and I tapped out. James has some good bits about it though. Oh yes, yeah. So over on James Comic Dale's channel, which I'll leave the link in the description at the end. He did a week by week. It was crossing over. Was it week by week? I can't remember. He did crossover reviews pretty much as issue by issue, and
Wow.
they were really good. Yeah. So, Pete, this is your first time reading crossover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you want to give us your overview, mate?
Yeah. So this for me is the multiverse of madness of comic books. So I think if you were reading it at the time, you probably went into this absolutely hyped up, expecting all kinds of fantastic crossovers, expecting probably people from the big companies to be crossing over and all the rest of it. And I would imagine, because of that hype, like I was with Multiverse of Madness, you'll have been bitterly disappointed when those characters didn't turn up.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't read it at the time, so this is my fresh read of it, and I went in with the knowledge that those things don't happen. So I already kind of, my expectations were measured, if you know what I mean. And I thought it was friggin' amazing. I loved it. I loved every page of it. I thought the artwork was incredible. I thought the storyline really, really gripped us. I blasted through all six issues very, very quickly, and it's got us excited to continue reading. So for me, it was a really good read. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, brilliant. Fuzzy's just saying there, this was another great choice. Obviously, half the panel didn't want to read it. There was a lot of kerfuffle, Fuzzy.
Yeah.
We'll be sorted for next time, I promise. Efren, what was your overview of this one?
Just to continue what Peter said, I did read it when it first came out, and I was so pumped up, ready to read this book. I thought, Marvel was going to come through with some character. I thought, and they did. There was this one scene I told that GP about it, and we'll talk about it in a minute.
Yeah.
I thought DC, I thought, oh my God, here we go. I've been waiting for this, So when I first read it, I was disappointed. I was like, damn it. I was hyped up and, waiting for somebody to show up, and some other characters did show up. I read it again and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't have the anticipation, all the hypeness of this, for me, the hypeness of these series. And I read it again. I just finished it yesterday. I went, you know what? This is a good book to read. I took my time the second time around. I just concentrated on it. I go, man, the first 6 issues were really, really good. So I was surprised. I'm glad you chose this one, and I would have read it again,
Yeah, so the reason for me picking this book was basically the same as yours, Efren. I was getting this issue by issue. I got up to issue 3, and I was just, because I was overhyped probably at the beginning, because it was getting built up that way. That was going to be this massive crossover. And it fell flat for me. So I picked this because I wanted to go over it again. And second time reading it, I'm on the same line as you and Pete. Like, absolutely enjoyed it. Got a couple more people in the chat there. How are you doing, Jack? Nice to see you, mate.
Jack.
Yeah, and Sif Lawley, cheers for stopping by, mate.
He's the best.
Saying hello to Efren and Pete too. Fuzzy's saying there it's a great concept, but expectations were over the top. Hence why so many fell away. I'm guessing. Yeah, absolutely, Fuzzy.
I agree. Yeah.
So yeah, crossover was written in 2020 by Donny Cates, and the art was by Geoff Shaw. We're just covering issues 1 to 6. Synopsis is, if you haven't read it, I've got it up on the phone here. In 2017, fictional characters from comic books across various publishers and genres come to life in the real world, causing mayhem, destruction, and death around the city of Denver, Colorado. Sorry, Swag. Our mate Swag lives in Denver, Colorado. 5 years later, a ragtag team of humans and characters join forces and embark on a quest to return to Denver, now domed off and containing the displaced characters, to find out the cause behind the event. So yeah, that's pretty much the synopsis, and does exactly what it says on the tin in the comic. Say hello to Sean there. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Yeah, so with that said, we'll get into the issues. Issue 1, it's been narrated by the lead character, Elle, a young girl. She works in a comic book shop. She's always in cosplay. Supers appear into the world and pretty much get trapped under this massive dome by one of their own. They basically sail off the city of Denver to keep themselves safe from outside forces attacking them from the world they're in. No one likes comics, cosplayers, the big religious group or cult that forms. It's very against them. I said that Elle works in the comic shop. Get to meet the owner, Otto, who's Elle's closest friend. While in the shop, they run into a little girl, Ava, and they see that she's not from their world, she's from the other world. And then the shop gets attacked by this cult. The cult leader is dressed as a father, but he's not really anything to do with the church. And he basically tells his son, gives him this Molotov cocktail, you're going to burn that shop down. He just doesn't want to do it anyway, but he has to. And at the end of the issue, little Ava, she draws a character on a piece of paper. This is the one who saved her, got her out the dome. And I remember on James's channel, it was discussed. No one could figure out if it was going to be Superman or the Sentinel. Because they had a big S.
Yeah.
See, that's what people were getting hyped for. Pete, what did you make it?
Sorry.
Go ahead, man.
I was just going to say that was kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? It was telegraphed, wasn't it? That was supposed to be Superman. It was, he was taking the mick really. And I think at the time, because of all of the hype about the book, if I'd read it at the time, I would have just assumed we were getting Superman, and wow, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get to the issue later on, but I have to say, when you get the reveal of who it is, I was, even after all this time, I kind of thought, really? Who gives a shit? But I mean, I don't know that character really from Adam. So it was a bit of a letdown, that. But the first issue, I thought was stunning. Sorry, mate, I haven't put your slides up. I've just been listening to you talk. I thought, it's your voice, GP. I just kind of
sexy northern voice.
It is. I just I just loved it. I thought the color work was amazing. I thought the art was superb. Mm-hmm. Storytelling was great. Love that effect they do with the kind of the comic book characters having
the dots.
I think that was really cool.
Printed.
Yeah, just a very, very strong issue. Much more than I expected, I guess.
Yeah, those dots are like from the comic books, like from the 1960s. Yeah. If you look closely at them, they have dots on their faces. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. I love the front.
Himself, James. Sorry.
Hey.
I love the.
Sorry for
that's okay. I like the first cover of the comic book. He's just opening up, and all these like brilliant lights are coming up to him, like blowing him away, so to speak.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. And I mean, I really enjoyed the first issue. The second time around, I just enjoyed it a lot more. I mean, when this little girl goes up at, she's from that world, because so to speak, normal people also got sucked through the world. And so it's a great way to start off a first issue. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. James, since you just quickly joined us, want to give us a quick your quick overview and what your thoughts were on issue 1?
I absolutely love this series. I loved issue 1. Reading at the time, it was just I like what it is. It's I mean, it is slightly well. In the first arc, you don't really fully understand it, but it's like a love letter to comics, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's just had me hooked, and I think as we go on, you'll see in the other issues the sort of cliffhangers at the end of every issue as well. It was just so good, and it was just very well written. But then, it's Donny Cates.
Fuzzy's just saying that in plot holes just now there's a character drawn with the dots also. I've not read that one, Fuzzy.
Yeah.
No, I've not
right.
read that. I mean, it's just coming on what just coming on what Fuzzy's saying there. This I'm reading at the moment. I'm reading Something Epic. Do any of you guys reading?
Yes,
that?
yeah.
I'm trying to read that. Yes.
Issue 3.
Yeah, it has a kind of a similar feel to it in terms of you're bringing literature and comic book characters to life into the real world, I guess. So it'll be interesting to know if Something Epic's had some influence from this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I had to stop. I never really got past issue 1 of Something Epic because I don't like text-heavy books.
It is very text-heavy. Yeah, and it doesn't lessen down on that. It's text-heavy all the way through.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Issue 2. It starts off with a news report that Brian K. Vaughan, Marvel writer, has been found dead. I need to read that Runaways. I've never read it.
The original
I like the TV show. He's found dead. He's the third writer that's been found dead. Ryan's dad you find out he's the head of religious cult. Then you meet a special director, Nathaniel Abrahams Pendleton. Young Ryan got arrested after he burnt down the comic shop, and he's taken to see this director, and he's in charge of locking up the supers for the government. There's a big splash page there. Efren, I think you sent me that splash page. I don't know if Pete's got it.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't think so. Not in this one.
It's the one with all the hands coming out anyway, and I think that ties back to an early issue with Spawn. I think they did something similar.
Right.
Yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure it's like a throwback to because I think one of the panels actually has Spawn's hand come out.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Oh yes, it was one of the early issues, wasn't it, of Spawn? I think.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of panels like that. I think the one Efren you sent me was the one with the Thing's hand.
Yeah, it was definitely the Thing's hand. You could see him right through a cage, and I didn't notice the first time I read it. I went, "Oh, wait a minute!" But like I said, I took my time reading it the second time around, and you pick up more things, obviously, when you're really concentrating on a book.
Yeah, I think I've seen Venom, Spider-Man, and Batman, Wonder Woman's arm.
Okay,
so they're in there somewhere.
They're in there.
Anyway, Sorry, mate. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I'm sure at that one point in that scene as well, you've got all the weapons hanging as well, and the ultimate nullifiers there and things.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think it's in his office, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like Ant-Man helmet and stuff in there.
Yeah.
Is this an issue number 2?
Yeah.
I gotta look it over. See,
and then
I completely missed that.
Yeah, there's more in the museum scene later on, I think, in one of the further issues. But
it's like a giant. Where's Waldo's superheroes? Yeah. So Ryan gets taken in to see this director, and he gives Ryan a mission. He gives him a gun with one bullet, and it's like a magic bullet, and he says you'll know what to do with this bullet when the time comes. Ellie wants to go to the dome. Ava tells them about the concentration camp sort of thing that they're keeping people in. And then at the end, Ava shows off that she's got powers, and she kills a rat.
Yeah.
We'll go to James. Your thoughts on issue 2, mate?
Yeah, again, I liked it. It sort of continued to build on the world building that was sort of established in episode 1. It really sort of turned it up a notch with getting to know what happened. And I think issue 2 is the one where it starts off recounting Watchmen, isn't it? Or is that issue 3?
No, I think it's this one, James.
Yeah.
Which again, if you're a comic book fan, it's just excellent the way they've tied it in, the overall narrative of Watchmen into, this unrelated book, but they're describing exactly how that worked, and maybe it was issue 3, I don't know, but yeah, it's I think that is actually issue 3 because this one started off with the murders, didn't it? So yeah, no, I think it was good. You and obviously introduced the sort of special agent and his role, and then is where Ryan gets the letter, which is seemingly from Ellipsis, and that's it's slightly there's a slightly acknowledgement of it later when Ryan sort of finds out that she's called L and Ellipsis, and then he's sort of like, what's going on? He doesn't really understand. So and then definitely with the Ava stuff and finding out that she is a part individual as well. And I liked it. It just sort of kept building on what was established in issue 1 and added sort of a lot more interesting elements sort of bolted onto it, the concentration camps, the experimentation and all that stuff. So, and like I said it when we did our look back on these before, that I think it's very well written. It's very the art throughout is just top notch. Like it doesn't blow you away, but it doesn't have to, because it's just so thorough throughout the
absolutely
book. And then the one thing that sort of I enjoy about it as well is the coloring and the sort of differences between the characters in the real world and the comic book characters and how they're differentiated through the sort of colors and the art and everything. It's I just loved it.
Brilliant, man. Fuzzy's just saying you've heard him, James.
Baby, don't
it must be about something epic. He said he'll read it to you over the phone as well.
Listen, last time I got people to talk over the phone, I got in trouble. So
all right. Quick hello to Cole Collects. How you doing, mate? Thanks for joining. And Fuzzy saying I definitely need to look for the trade. I don't remember noticing them little Easter eggs.
There's Easter eggs every step in this book. There's Easter eggs all the way through it, and I loved every single one.
Pete, your thoughts on issue 2, mate?
Much the same as James. Absolutely loved it. I love all the colouring. I love the artwork. Actually, I think the artwork's really strong. I like the difference between the comic world and the normal world, if that makes sense. Again, going back to the trolling of Donny Cates, I mean, as I read this, even though I knew he wasn't appearing, the gun with the glowing green bullet, that's telegraphed kryptonite bullets to kill Superman. I kind of assumed that's where they were going with it, but yeah, just a fun read. And I really enjoyed as well the narrative of the writer talking to you and the kind of the backwards and forwards with them in terms of their storytelling. It was just a book that grabbed us.
See, that's the thing with me with Donny Cates. It's like I think he's sometimes a bit text heavy, but it works in this.
It's not as bad as Hickman, mate. Hickman has like a full page of text every few pages, doesn't he?
So does Snyder. Efren, your thoughts on issue 2 there, mate?
Well, a little bit of issue 1 and issue 2. I like character development. We got to know these characters, Elle especially, where she's coming from, why she's doing what she's doing. Even the preacher's son, I forgot his name, what his dad has put him through all these years, just of mental abuse. His dad is psychotic, for sure. I just like I like the progress of this, and it doesn't start building up until after issue 2. I think at the very end of issue 2, some characters come out, if I remember right. They show who her character was that she drew, so that when I first read it, that disappointed me because I didn't know much about that character. I go, that's the character she drew. I had nothing to do with an S, so that's when I read it the first time, I started going on now, my hype of it went down a lot after the end of issue 2, but I kept on reading it, but I mean, I really enjoyed, like I said, reading it again. I have enjoyed it way more than the first time around.
Brilliant. Yeah. So that'll take us on to issue 3. We get a bit of Elle's backstory. It's brilliant. A bit of backstory when the dome goes up. And we see Ryan actually getting pretty much abused off his dad, getting punched around and yelled at and not getting forgiven for his sins, sort of thing. It's really bad. Then Ellie and Otto decide to take Ava, and they're going to try and find the parents at one of these camps. So they're set off. As they do, they get stuck in the traffic, and Ellie gets out the car. She sees Ryan, gets out the car, and pretty much confronts him over the comic book shop, and they have this really nice moment where he's apologizing. He's in tears saying, "I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it." When a police officer pulls them up and has to say the ID, they don't have ID. They pretty much get saved by a giant robot fighting a kaiju. I'm thinking, is that the robot out of Shogun Warriors?
Not sure, mate. I
I'm
don't
not sure.
think
Probably heavily inspired by.
Yeah.
So that's what I got from that one. Then this magician shows up, and at first you think it's going to be Doctor Strange. It's not. It's Dr. Black. He pretty much saves him. He takes him. Tells him he's with a group called the Paybacks, and that's a big throwback from way back.
I didn't recognize that name.
Yeah, I don't recognize any of them.
So sorry, James. You obviously lived in this at the time. Was that a real comic, or is that just a made-up one for this book? Is Payback an actual comic? Is it?
Yeah. So Paybacks was, and I hadn't read. I obviously had to do this research upon reading it. But yeah, so it is a Donny Cates book that was cancelled shortly after. So all the characters are characters that Donny Cates had written. A little bit more of self-promotion for Donny Cates, and he actually
pretty much
where he says it's available. I don't know if it's an issue, but it says it says it's like editor's note to Paybacks complete edition available at your local comic shop. So which again I just loved. It's just sort of a tongue-in-cheek sort of aspect to it. But no. So it's legit characters from a previous comic that Donny Cates had written, which obviously is easy enough for him to have the rights. Although they mentioned it was published by Dark Horse, but he obviously has the rights to those characters, so he can use them freely.
Absolutely.
And I think that the whole Doctor Strange thing was brilliant as well, because the little girl was like, "It's Doctor Strange," and he's like, "That's not Doctor Strange."
No, it's not.
It's just so good.
But I think that's the thing with Donny Cates showing how he's got creative control now over his own characters, which has been a big thing through comic books over the years. Yeah, so it's pretty much so he can just put it out there as much as he wants. It's brilliant. Dr. Black transports the little group to the Payback's headquarters. Is it like a dimension within the van or something?
That's because they're suggesting they're still in the van when they're in that big house.
And then the guy shows up who Ava drew, and it's not Superman or the Sentry. It's a guy called Madman.
Yeah,
and that's how the issue ends. This is the issue I dropped off on when the first come out. I was really disappointed. I was done.
This cover. A lot of people were thinking it was going to be a Transformer, and so did I a little bit. I was like, a friend of mine, he bet heavily on it. He bought a bunch of these books, but he thought it was going to be a Transformer coming out. He was going to cash in later on. I said, I don't know, man. But I started getting a little bit disappointed, where I thought, oh, there you go, cool. I thought it was going to be a Transformer 2. I go, that'd be so awesome. Optimus Prime shows up, but it wasn't. I go, who is this character? And this is where I started waning a little bit the first time around on this series. I go, there's not going to be a great crossover here, But
we want to talk about buying heavily into this issue. So that was issue 3. That was the main cover, but I have like 4 variants for issue 3. I have like the Spawn variant.
I wanted that one with Spawn.
And there's I think there's like 5 or 6 different versions of this with different comics that it's reading. I also have the black and white version.
Nice.
Of that one. And I think this one is quite limited. It's 1 in 100, the shiny one.
Oh, shiny. Yeah. Shiny. Nice.
Which true story I got directly from the colorist, D. Cunniffe.
Wow.
That's right, you did, yeah.
I bought a lot of them too, man. I was really getting hyped for this. I was like, I'm gonna get all these covers, and I got some CGC ones. I think that music video by Aha where they're looking through the window.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got that one. Like, oh man.
I was actually. So cool. I was almost going to buy that one off him, but I literally had no more money. I spent it all.
I needed the hype.
Yeah, I got so caught up with the hype.
Yeah. Pete, your thoughts on issue 3 there?
absolutely loved it. James, you're right. This is the issue where they do the Watchmen thing, because it links into this, doesn't it, with the robot fighting the giant squid. I just thought it was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. Like I said at the start, I didn't get this at the time, so I didn't have that hype coming into the book.
Yeah.
So I wasn't necessarily expecting to see a Transformer or stuff, because I'd heard that nothing happened. None of them was appear necessarily. That said, the revelation of it being Madman at the end, it did fall a bit flat, because I don't know that character. It's not a character I've ever really read. Yeah. Clever twist, because really, in reality, let's be honest, he was never going to get to use Superman or Spider-Man or anything like that, was he? So I guess it was a good twist on it. The only thing I would say is, and I don't know if it was just me, but the scene in the bathroom, I think, is in this issue, where she's putting the makeup on the little girl and stuff.
Yes.
And there's already been a lot of stuff about her being a cosplayer and stuff. I have to say, at that point, I started kind of questioning where she was from. I kind of guessed the end. I guess the twist, shall we say. But yeah, I thought it was brilliant. I thought the Dr. Dark characters were stunning. I just loved it. You're getting the impression here that I'm gushing about this book because I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
How many variants are you going to buy, Pete?
Well, I've already got about 4 or 5 copies of issue 1, because I think I went in deep issue 1. I got the hidden variant or something, I think it was. Was there a few?
Did you get that one? Yeah.
For issue 1 or something?
Is that the one where it's just a different book that the guy's reading?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I can't remember what the story was.
Yeah. So I remember going into the Dial Night and flicking through the copies in there, trying to find a different variant. Yeah. That'll take us into issue 4. So we find out. I don't know what I wrote down there.
One other thing before we move on, sorry, as well, but issue 3 as well, it really sort of I know it sort of suggested and hinted at, but it really sort of solidified the sort of hold, the stranglehold that Ryan's father had over him in that issue, because it was actually quite brutal. Obviously it didn't show too much, but it was it was actually quite hard to read. Know what's going on, and it was even though Ryan's done a horrible thing, you're sort of now rooting for him.
Yeah.
And he got this way out, and he was able to sort of, he was like, even though what his father has done to him, he's still sort of praying to God to sort of show him a way. And all of a sudden, thunder and the windows open, and he's like, he's out of here. So I think I really moved that on too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a bit of a hard read at that point in the comic, but yeah, you definitely start rooting for Ryan after that. So we find out in issue 4, the further away from the dome the supers are, the weaker the powers get. And for the length of time as well. You find out that Ava's parents actually back through the portal. So, now the mission is to go to the dome and get through the portal. Don't know. To destroy the portal, they have to kill Doc Black. So they take that off the table straight away. The Reverend's got somebody locked up in his basement.
Oh yeah,
he's really an evil dude. Then they go to this museum to get an artifact, and say this museum, and this is where they store a lot of the superheroes stuff. So you can look for Easter eggs all day in these panels. It's absolutely brilliant. They get caught, by the security there, and Madman uses a yo-yo to save everybody, which cool. I thought was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
They meet this old lady D. She leads them to this artifact, a sword called the Ballowfax. Now I didn't know this because I've never read it. This is the sword from God Country.
Oh,
that another Donny Cates.
It is.
Yeah. You get the backstory for the sword. It must be taken straight out of God Country, I'm assuming. Then you see some supers getting experimented on. That was issue 4. Pete, any thoughts on this one there?
Tremendous again. I don't know about Valifax. I've never read God Country, but I don't think I necessarily needed to. I think you've got enough backstory in this, and there was the nice little bit where I explained afterwards that it's basically is it the god of swords? So it represents all swords or something like that. Yeah, which I really, really liked. Again, just talking about Easter eggs, I've picked to show that central panel there because my eyes were immediately drawn to the shield helicarrier at the top.
Oh, wow.
But also, I don't know if you've noticed, next to the tentacle on the bottom there is the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And from Ghostbusters,
I did not say that, no.
Yeah. It's just a little thing. It's a bit like, for me, it's a bit like, and I know he's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's a bit like reading an Alex Ross book. There's so many pop culture references and people just kind of squashed in every page that you could spend forever reading through this. And I don't know if
X-Men, I don't know if it's there too, is it?
Yeah, the Quinjet, and I don't know if it's intentional or not, but you've got the Quinjet there. But also, if you look at the reflection on the window, on the glass at the side, pretty sure that's the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Where are you looking at?
Where all the text bubbles are, Efren, the glass paneling. There's a black shade.
Oh yes,
reflection.
yes, it's yeah, I see it.
Are you talking about the sword?
No, mate. The central page.
Okay.
Where the text bubbles are.
Okay.
If you look at the kind of the glass reflecting windows, the shadow of the Enterprise.
Gotcha. Oh wow. Damn, that's a good eye, Peter. I didn't notice that at all.
Yeah, I didn't know.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So it's stuff like that keeps me coming back and keeps us interested. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Did not notice
There's a wee Hulk. There's a wee Hulk there too in one of the buildings, just above one of the tentacles. Just slightly left of the beam. It's hard to see in that image, but if you have it on like the comic, there's like a character jumping like the Hulk.
It's just great. Stuff like that.
I'm gonna have to go back through it.
I gotta go back later on and look at this page again.
Yeah.
There's a better one. There's a better one in issue 6.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
Efren, your thoughts on issue 4, mate?
First of all, I love this cover. It to me is an homage to the giant size X-Men. It seems like to me, and I just really like we're getting to know Elle a little bit more, and nice. And I think in this issue is when she picks up the sword right at the end, if I'm correct, or is it the next issue?
That's the next issue.
Oh, and next issue. Sorry, but for a second at that Valifax, I thought that was the sword from Magic in the New Mutants, Ileana's sword.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that her sword? Or what's Valifax? I didn't know anything about it at all. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's a good read, and I like all these little, cameos that you guys just mentioned in the middle page. I go, oh my God, I missed that completely. The Enterprise, I went, dang. So I think I'm going to have to go over it again and just really get like a magnifying glass and look at the page. What the hell am I missing here?
Yeah.
But, besides that, it was a good read. Really enjoyed it.
There's a video, every Easter egg and crossover.
Yeah. I bet there's one out there, to be honest, JP. I bet
there probably will be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They should have like a director's cut and videos, where they point out main points of a movie. Mm-hmm. They should go back on this one on page 2, right here. So, you can see this.
For a lot of Alex Ross's books, Efren, for the Absolute editions, he does exactly that. So he does it. Yeah, he does it page by page, and he'll describe. So, for example, is it Marvel's? I think in the wedding scene, you got the Beatles who are in attendance at the wedding, and he's done all them and that kind of stuff. It's great.
There's even in the fight scene in the museum, there's the Batmobile is in like 4 or 5 different panels, but it's like in impossible places. I missed that. Yeah, it's like the I gotta read it again. Purpley.
But I guess the trick is that he has to do, isn't it? It's a bit like Captain America's shield. He can put the items in, but they have to just be off panel enough so he could argue, oh no, it's not copyright. Do you know what I mean? It's not really the Batmobile. It's just bits of a Batmobile. Do you know what I mean?
See, the thing I thought was he had permission to use so much from DC and Marvel. And that's why you got the hands sticking out the cages.
Do you think he got permission off Marvel?
No.
I don't.
No.
I think he knows what he's doing. I think he's smart enough to know, and obviously as he'd have to work with Geoff Shaw to say, right, what we're going to do, and because he can probably write it in the script all he wants. He can probably say Spawn's hands are popping out, and then it's up to them to see, legally how much can they show.
James, really quick, what issue was in the fighting in the museum was that? Is that this issue or?
It's issue.
Issue 4.
Issue 4.
4. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. James, your thoughts on issue 4, mate?
Yeah, again, it just for me, it just went from strength to strength. I mean, I know a lot of people were disappointed in the reveal from the previous issue, but I knew a little bit about Madman, but I hadn't I wasn't like a massive fan. There's obviously it was a Mike Aller character and another creator-owned character, and I then went back to read a bit more about his creation and stuff like that, and his story, and again, it seems like a pretty interesting character, Yeah, I think it was well used in this. Again, the fight scene with the yo-yo was just just a good old fashioned comic book fight. I enjoy. And then all the wee Easter eggs in there were great. Again, I hadn't read a lot of God Country either, so the sword was sort of new to me on that. But I think they knew that was going to be the case, and that's why they had that little 2-page segment on what the hell is Halifax. And then I think we can all agree that the Amalgam program is a nice little throwback to Marvel DC at the very end.
Very cool.
I think I remember talking about it as well. Generally, you remember on the back of the comic books, they used to have an advert for like a breakfast cereal combo, and they had like a Combo Man character. I don't know if that. And it was like 5 or 6 different characters pieced together from Marvel. And I remember that. It sort of reminded me of that.
Yeah.
All the different character pieces.
Brilliant. Issue 5. So the father's prisoner gets sent to his facility, and you find out he has an explosive sewn into him. He's not really a superhero. He's just there. He's had his tongue cut out, so he can't speak. And they shove him in the cage, and the facility blows up. They use the sword to get to the dome. The dome comes down. This big war starts now, where the US government's sending jets to basically bomb everybody that was under the dome. Madman gives Ellie Halifax. Ava uses the power and kills some soldiers. They can't stop her, and Ryan pulls the gun out onto her, and he's just about to shoot her, and that's the end of that issue. Pete, your thoughts?
I feel like I'm repeating myself, mate, but again, brilliant.
I know.
The bomb in the chest was great because I thought he was going to be a super. I thought the guy had been wailing on him because he was a superhero, but obviously it wasn't. It was just to get him in there, I suppose. Look at the size of that sword. That's impractical, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, carrying that thing around, but there's no denying it looks incredibly cool, and I love the team element of it. I thought the battle was cool.
Yeah.
And I genuinely thought he was going to shoot the little girl at the end.
Yeah, he's got the tears in his eyes. He's ready to pull the trigger. Fuzzy's just saying there, he knows he'll be on eBay searching for variants. That's when we know we do a good job, Fuzzy. Efren, your thoughts on issue 5?
I thought it was a really good issue. The father, he supposedly thinks he's like some type of priest, but he isn't. He's just an ass, man. The way he just this guy that put a bomb in, he was just like I think he was like a follower of the superheroes or something, and he captured him. He just beat him for his own kicks. And when he put the bomb in him, didn't that happen in the Batman movie with Heath Ledger when he put a bomb into the right? It just reminded me of that scene a little bit,
Yeah,
the old Trojan horse.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the one.
Yeah. I just, they show part of Denver, being capped off and just the war going on in there. I like the middle page when they show Madman, right? I even forgot his name.
Yeah.
Superheroes and L there. I should have put 2 and 2 together a little bit. I think like Peter did at the beginning, that she wasn't quite who she said she was. I didn't get it until the end, and then I went, oh my God. That was, the next issue we'll talk about that. But I enjoyed this one too.
Yeah, Fuzzy's just saying that the colours are getting better as the issues go by. Got to agree on that one, mate. James, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's such a good issue. It does build. I think this one is a slightly shorter issue than the rest of them, though. But one thing if I am going to be nitpicky is that obviously they brought in this guy that the sort of father, the cult leader, had captured, but he's not Dotty, he's not Dots, so they should have known he's not a super. So it's the only, if I had to nitpick anything in the story, it's why would they put him in with power dampeners if he's not clearly from the superhero world.
I didn't put that together, James.
Yeah, if I had to nitpick, that's what I would have nitpicked. But everything else was great. And definitely, it's full of little Easter eggs. There's like the scene where this jail is blowing up or explodes, and some of the wee side panels you can see there's like Thor's coming out, and Superman, Wolverine, and then the actual cover list one, which I obviously have a nice little version here, is actually directly inspired by an issue of God Country. I think God Country issue 2. It's very similar. So it's again, it's just showing that connection.
Yeah, me and Pete were discussing that before the show, and I thought it was like a Oblivion song because they did covers like that as well. Just saying hi to Ken there. Cool. Thanks for joining, Ken.
Okay.
So we'll go on to issue 6 because we're getting a bit pushed for time. Pete's got more shows.
Just keep going, mate. Just keep going. I'll just jump off when I have to jump off.
Right, mate. So issue 6, Ellie stops Ryan from firing on Ava, and you see a bit more of this war going on. We don't get water boobies in it, but we do get Witchblade. I did say, they're going to a warehouse thing, and there's zombies in there, straight from Walking Dead. Hit Girl
black
turns
and white
up.
zombies at that as well, isn't it?
Black and white zombies. Yeah.
This
Hit Girl
turns
up and saves him. There she is. Yeah, good old 90s boobs. So hit Savage Dragon.
Yeah.
Darkness.
I hit Fairyland girl up there.
You see
where's that hit Fairyland?
Just above Witchland or Witch.
Oh yes, got it.
Battle Pope, top right.
Yeah, Battle Pope. I saw. Yeah,
Battle Pope's good one.
Interestingly, James, and I don't know if it comes out in later issues or whatever, but in this panel, the comic book characters don't look pixelated. Or is that because they're in their own world, so they don't look pixelated? In
well, they're not. They're in the dome. They haven't crossed through. The beam. So I don't know if it's in the dome. They're not pixelated.
Right. Okay.
I think. Yeah. I don't think they actually do touch on it. I think I don't know.
Well, I've just spotted the Max as well. The big, is it the purple Max?
Yeah, there's the Fantastic Four car up above the purple fella. So look, top left, just above.
I've just clocked the turtles. I didn't spot the turtles.
Silhouettes of the turtles. Yeah.
Oh my god! Damn.
Shadow hole.
You see, this is way out there on the bottom left-hand side, right by the skull. You see that guy with the black hair, looks like a white streak on his hair. That reminds me of Nate Summers from the X-Men. Apocalypse. Probably not. But it looks like him. He got that same streak. Just notice the turtles. Damn. Oh, you know what? Right in the middle. Now we're looking at with that beam coming down on the left-hand side. That almost looks like the Hulk, but it's in purple and he has green pants. You see it?
Yeah, I think that's the Peter was saying. Look like the Max.
Okay, it could be a Hulk reference too.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Just color swapped, isn't it? He's got green trousers on, his skin's purple.
You know what? Reading this book with you guys going over is a lot more fun than reading it by yourself.
Should have just stuck this panel up, and we should just straight for now pick things up.
Again, I've not actually read the book. I haven't read the book, but the Superman character is fighting there. The one in red, is that the Savior or something for Astro City? Was there a character called the Savior or something?
Not sure, mate.
I can't remember.
I've not read that one.
But the guy underneath him was from Dark Horse Comics. Was is it X or something? I think he's called.
Yeah, and then the Shadowhawks was Shadowhawk.
Oh yeah, Shadowhawk. Dang, man, I gotta read this again.
I'm gonna go look through.
I'm loving JP taking his glasses off to the screen.
Mate, I'm getting old. So anyway, the Hit Girl saves them. They get Ava home through the portal.
Are those zombies from The Walking Dead? I just noticed that. They probably are, right?
Yeah, they are, mate.
Yeah.
Two supers fight near them. Otto gets killed by some fallen debris.
Yeah.
Ryan saves Elle, who was knocked out. When they get to where they're going, where Ryan takes her, she goes in the bathroom, and she comes back out and she's washed off all the makeup off her face, and you find out that she is from the comic world.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that issue. Final thoughts on this one, Pete?
It's superb, absolutely superb. This was a book that I wasn't expecting to love as much as I did love, and it's a one where I've blasted through the 6 issues, and I'm wanting to continue reading now, so I'm excited to read more. I have to say, and James might disagree, but I am pleased that I'm reading it for the first time now, and that I didn't go in with all of the hype, because I think I would have felt that kind of disappointment of, we haven't got the big characters or whatever. But yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Definitely reading on. Yeah.
What would you score be out of 10, Pete?
Oh, mate. I always score high, as you know, but what did I score? In terms of sheer enjoyment and fun of going back, I'm going to give it a 9.5.
Wow.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Dang.
I loved it. Yeah.
Efren,
final thoughts and your score, mate.
Quick question. On issue number 6, when the little girl went back through the dome, I thought Elle was trying to get into the dome also. Why didn't she go with her? I didn't get that at all,
They got into the dome and they just wanted to get her through the portal because that's where her parents were.
Okay.
And then they put Ava through, and then some of the superheroes sort of fell down into a car and caused an explosion, and it threw Elle away, and she got injured.
Okay.
So Ryan had to sort of pull her out of there.
I'm not going to give it as high a grade as Peter, but I really enjoyed it. I want to read it again now, but I'm going to hold off because hopefully we'll go back to issues, whatever the next arc is. I want to read it fresh when we do it if we do the next time. I give it an 8. I give it a solid 8. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. James, final thoughts and scores, man.
I just loved it. I love that first arc. I loved everything about it. I love the fact that it's called "The Kids Loves Chains," which is a direct quote from Todd McFarlane. It's just brilliant. I think it does go downhill a little bit into the second sort of arc, and I think that it's only the second arc. So issue 7's kind of funny, and then 8 to the end. I don't really remember it as clear as I remember the first one, so I might be being overly harsh on it, but this first arc was great. And issue 6 had one of my favorite variant cover. I don't know, it mightn't even be a variant, it might have been main cover, but I know it was the variant. It was by Eric Larson. And Eric Larson was one of my favorite artists, so I love that one. And then of course I got the shiny one too because it's shiny.
I love a shiny. Yeah,
I do love it shiny like a magpie. But I would give this. I think I would definitely give it a 9. I enjoyed it the first time. I enjoyed it even more the second time. Like my friend said, you just notice a lot more, and you've got you take in a lot more the second time around. And I think this is probably the most recent book that I've reread and enjoyed as much, if not more, than the first time. So fires on all cylinders for me. Definitely. So I'd give it a 9.
Good stuff.
It's no body count, but I will do.
No, definitely not. Yeah. I'm going to have to give this an 8.5. Obviously, the first time I read it, I only got issue 3, and because I was hyped up for it and disappointed. But that said, go back reading it again. Thoroughly enjoyed it. The story was on point. It's brilliant. So that's an 8.5 from me.
Really quick, what issue was it again? I'm going to look at it again. When they fought in the museum and they show the Batmobile, is that issue 4 or 3?
3, I think, Efren.
Okay, I got to go over it. I'm going to go over it again.
It's funny because it's in 4 or 5 different panels, but it looks like it's in different places throughout the building. So, but he's like, I'm just sticking this in anyway.
Yeah. I'd like this in. I would like this in a big, oversized hardcover format. Where you can the images are blown right up. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah.
So that gives us an average of 8.7. Have we got the table up there, Pete? Look at that. Thanks very much, Efren.
Yeah.
So 8.7 puts it at
5th.
Above Thanos Wins. Yeah, brilliant.
I think that's fair.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, brilliant. Jimmy T is popping in to say, "Heyo,
heyo."
We'll spin the wheel. We'll see what's coming up next.
James, there wasn't a lot of enthusiasm in your AO there.
AO.
And it's not the same if it's at the end of the show, though, is it? It's got to be.
Ooh, Vader down.
Vader down.
That's Keeger's. That's Keeger's choice.
Was that Keeger's?
It is.
Yeah.
I think I read it previously, but I'm gonna go into it fresh.
I've read some of the issues. I haven't read it like fully, so
I don't think I've read it.
The ones I read were good. But yeah, that's what we're doing next time.
Somebody's got to pick Kingdom Come next time because I've never read that book.
You've never read Kingdom
I've
Come?
I've told you that before, Peter. I've never read that book before. Man.
I haven't either.
Even I read it, and I don't like DC. So
we'll just quickly go around and see what everybody's got coming up. Pete, what millions of shows have you got?
Directly after this at 9 o'clock, I'm over on Reviews with Rich's channel, and we're doing a bit of a movie rundown. So come check that out. Thursday night, I'm doing with UGP, I think, over on Comic Lad Simon's channel, where we're doing a review of One Piece. And then directly after that, I'm going to be jumping on and helping Tom on the Killer Comic Show. Friday, I'm with Ephraim doing our monthly picks show. And then Saturday, it's my usual Saturday Night Live.
God, you never rest.
Nothing Sunday?
Nothing Sunday. Monday, I need to confirm, but I think it's This Is My with Andy from Perpetual Comics.
You are busier than Craig David.
Craig David. Miss Craig David.
On Monday, I'm with Andy. On Tuesday, I'm with Rich.
Ephraim, what have you got coming up on
Sunday?
Yesterday in the evening, I did comic culture with two of my friends, Dan Delatorre and the Nando Night, where we talk about comic books, movies, pop culture, anything that we want to talk about. I did that yesterday. I got to pick a winner for my giveaway. I'm going to do it this week. I think I'm going to post it one more time on Instagram. I'm going to choose the winner tomorrow, and I'll notify them. Friday, like I said, I'm here with Peter, and I'll ship it anywhere. Now that I know it's not that expensive, when I ship some stuff to Peter, I said, it wasn't that bad. Friday, like I said, we're going to do our review show, or not review show, but advanced orders basically. And I'm going to be doing another giveaway live on Friday. I'm going to be giving away one of the other 9.8s that I got from Black Saber Comics. And I'm doing my own videos, trying to do stuff on YouTube Shorts. I like doing the polls too, like who's the better. Right now I have Captain America against Batman, and Batman's winning. And I've got over 100 people left over 100 comments on that. It was pretty cool, Wow. So I'm just trying to have a fun time talking with you guys whenever I can.
Make it fun. That's the best way.
YouTube, trying to do this YouTube journey with as much people as I can. Just having fun.
Yeah,
good for you.
Absolutely. James, anything?
No, I don't think I've much come up. I tried to get into One Piece, but it really rode up the crack.
Oh Jesus, man.
I've been saving that one for days.
It's good.
I hope you get it.
Yeah.
But thanks. But no, I did launch a new Instagram account called Shitty Sketch Cards.
Did you?
Everyone wants to check that out.
Yeah.
Oh, I've not seen that one. I'll have to check that one.
I mean, I did follow you, Pete, but maybe you were too
busy
on YouTube.
Too bad. I'll have been live, mate. I'll be live.
Just where I'm posting like some of the old sketch card. I'm trying to get sort of better at art and posting up these sketch cards, and it's been a bit of fun, So,
all right.
Oh, brilliant.
I have one more thing to say. I'm going to look for some spotted dick to see if I can find something to eat.
I think you should go out tonight and look for some spotted dick. Ephraim.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find somebody. Excuse me.
I wouldn't ask. I wouldn't ask for it to eat though. I wouldn't say, "Can I have some spotted dick to eat, please, sir?"
Ephraim doesn't know what peas pudding is either. He's never lived. Honestly, he's never lived.
Maybe try a little bit of foreplay first, Ephraim.
Yeah.
Yeah. As for on this channel, I have got a video coming out later this week. Why I stopped collecting comics. Clickbait. Gotta love it. Hey, I spent half an hour on that video, so I hope everybody watches it.
I love those videos. I don't know if you knew that. They're my favorite type of video.
I love it. I'm putting out shorts pretty much every day. If you go over to the community tab, there's always someone on there. I'm doing a competition with my friend at the minute. Little art challenges every day. I let him pick the character and we both draw. I put it up for the poll. But that's it for me. Wait there before we end. I've got a book here for what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do. So, I just better flick through this here. Is it this page? No. No, that one. Is that one? No. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Later.